You alright, my front wheel skids? How are we? How have you been brought up? How have you been brought up? White Hart Lane, Tottenham, Spurs fans, Tottenham fans, football fans, fans of people who like to watch people talking. How have you been brought up? Loads of shit have gone on this morning, and I was just doing a video. So this is Johnny Three Takes. And I got halfway, 3/4 of the way through the video, and it got from Mikey Moore, because I wanted to talk about Mikey Moore. I didn't feel like I didn't want him to go to Rangers, because I thought that was the wrong move. I thought that was the wrong loan option, right? And I went from Mikey Moore to the Champions League, because I would have loved Mikey Moore to experience being in first team football and the Champions League at a young age. Just for the experience, the work ethics, being in the changing room, understanding the pressures. But I've been brought up a different way. I've been brought up with that competitive football brain since I was a kid. I can't remember not having a football. I can't remember not having a good dinner on the table. Yeah, I always had a good dinner and a football. Always. Right? These Premier League players are professional footballers. I was never a professional footballer. All right? But the way I was brought up was professional. Now I'm thinking to myself, how has everyone else been brought up? Because you see viewers when they watch you and they leave a comment and they ask a question, or they ask me why, or they start off with a passive aggressive question. I've been brought up working class, low income. Everybody in the family's worked for what they've got, right? And we all work hard in our own different ways. As a parent, you work hard. What do you think about Mikey Moore? Because I'm thinking that we've got people in our academy that should be nurtured a different way to how we're nurturing them. You know, Vuskovic we've sent out on loan. We could have nurtured him. I'm really not understanding the reasons why Mikey Moore went to Rangers. For a good few reasons. I would have kept him near to London, so we could have brought him back to the training ground every now and again. I would have kept him near to London so he kept his friends. I would have kept him near to London so his family didn't have upheaval. I would have put him in a championship. I would have made sure I got him somewhere that was as close to a Premiership team, that was as close to London as possible in a competitive league. That's what I was thinking about. I'd like people in the comments to tell me I'm wrong and give a reason, a good reason. Mate, there's not much going on in the Tottenham world, to be honest with you. It only got me talking because I see someone on TV. This is where content creators are totally different. I see all these content creators saying it's a great loan move for Mikey Moore because the last content creator has said that, and because the last content creator has said that. You don't get nothing different. The diversity of opinion in Spurs YouTube or football YouTube isn't varied, isn't diverse. I watched someone this morning who I thought was diverse. Turns out he's not diverse. He comes from a football background. He's a football coach. And he thinks a different way to how I think. And I was watching him. I actually thought he speaks sense in loads of his videos, the geezer. Right? But sometimes he says things and I'm thinking to myself, you're not living in the real world. You're living in the YouTube world where you're waking up in the morning trying to find YouTube content. And what you're forgetting, why you started YouTube, bruv, is because it was you. So you don't need to find content. You just need to find you. A lot of viewers don't understand that either. They watch all these Spurs channels and you watch me having a moan and you think to yourself, oh, he's just moaning. I'm not moaning per se. I am moaning, but I'm not moaning, if you know what I mean. I'm just trying to make people critical think and free think. This is why a lot of people don't like me. I understand. Because I question the narrative. Always question the narrative. But we watch all these football things. And this last week, my wife has watched different Tottenham shows. There's no football going on. She's watching about the transfers. She's watching all the big shows. And I've sat there and listened to some of these big shows. From one content creator to another, sometimes you might get a bit of a diverse view. Sometimes you get an extreme view. Sometimes you get a manipulated view where you've got two content creators collaborate with each other, but one's good guy, one's bad guy. And they do it on purpose for the views. Right, now we've got that out of the way. I'm watching these youngsters on YouTube now, and they're spouting out the same crap. So if you watch, let's just say you watch Alice. You know Alice? Who the fuck is Alice? Do you remember that song? Right, anyway, Alice, if you watch Alice, is it Elysia Football? If you say it in... Well, anyway, the girl who does, she's a Man United fan. She always talks about Tottenham. It must be her second little, a little secret, perverse fantasy that she's a Spurs fan, right? And you watch her, and then you watch a few other young men who speak football in the Spurs community. They parrot what she says. And then it carries on. One parrots the next. You can pick any TV show. Like my missus watched a TV show yesterday, a few TV shows yesterday. They all parroted exactly. Not word for word, but they parroted the same principle, the same. Now, not everyone in this world has got the same view, especially on their football clubs. And I can't get over it. I was speaking to a content creator this morning, and they was finding it hard to get content because it's quiet, isn't it, in the YouTube world? And we always discuss things. Most of the time, we discuss things and we come out and we both come to a conclusion on life, and we both come to a different conclusion from what's being said. But normally, it's a great conversation. What I'm watching at the minute is not great conversation in the Spurs community. It's YouTube conversation. It's not diverse like it should be. There's an undercurrent narrative, an agenda for content creators to keep waffling on. I know I'm waffling on. But I'm just hoping that some of you subscribers and viewers or whatever will understand where I'm coming from. I'm not understanding the pressures of YouTube. I'm not understanding the pressures of finding content. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to talk to a video. Sometimes it's not. Maybe it's just me. I find doing YouTube lives hard. Talking of YouTube lives, if you got this far, I've got an interview with LJ where he's going to ask me questions about my previous videos, why I exposed Spurs community YouTubers why I said the things I've said. Hopefully you'll watch that and you'll understand. I didn't think having ADHD and live and being on a live video is totally weird. I get brain fog sometimes, and I've got a stutter, a speech impediment. So when I'm on a live, if another person on the live, like Simon, has his view on Tottenham Hotspur, sometimes my view runs concurrent with Simon's view, so there's no point me saying it. So I will just say, yep, I agree with you, Simon. It's exactly what I wanted to say. On to the next subject. It don't mean I've got no opinion on how the clubs run or how the football game goes. It just means that, yeah, I'm thinking the same as that other person. Lately, I don't think the same as the other person. So it's really hard on the live for me to express myself. But I'm learning. It's all a learning curve. Right. So I'm doing a show with Lou and he's interviewing me. But I will tell you now up front and straight, I've asked Lou for the questions beforehand, not so I can pre-warn myself or pre-arm myself. The reason why is because I wanted to write bullet points down, because my brain does wonder with ADHD, having the speech impediment and everything else. I'd like to write bullet points. So in that respect, if you do watch it and go over to watch it, it might cause a bit of a stir in the YouTube community. I can take that on the chin. Lou can take that on the chin. But I'm just explaining to you why you might see me during the video looking down at a bit of paper. I didn't want you to feel like it's a scripted exposure of it's not. It's a Q&A. Lou was curious as to why I've done it. And where Lou's straight down the line and he's not on anybody's side of the fence other than his own side of the fence, he's looking over at my YouTube like I look at other people's YouTubes. And he was just wondering why. And when we had a conversation the other night, I said, why don't you interview me, Lou? Why don't you interview me? Louis Parkinson. And that's the reason why we're doing this interview. It wasn't to stir anything. And plus, I could have done it on my own channel. I could have sat there on my own channel and spoke and said all the stuff that I want to say on my own channel. But I felt like, no, because then it makes people feel like, oh, he's doing it again just for the views and the subs. So to stop that, going on to a separate channel where I'm going to be asked questions and I will answer as I normally answer, honest as the day is long. Hopefully then no one can question why, oh, he's doing it for likes and subs. It's YouTube. You know I never do anything for likes and subs. I never say anything for, in fact, I've backed myself into a corner. So if you think about it clever, and you critical think, I've backed myself into a corner. I can never go on these shows. I can never go on these big shows because I don't agree with what they're doing. I can never, I've not got a hotline to 25 other content creators. I can't do that. Not like these other creators who come on the scene and within 5 minutes they got 1,000 subscribers and they're monetized straight away. I can't do that. That was never, my YouTube was never about making money off you at all. In fact, I started my YouTube at the same time as getting clean. So my thought process a couple of years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, if I was bored, it would have turned to drugs. It would have turned to that side of the life. Instead, my thought process has changed. My free time is if I've got a bit of free time, I'll go and do a YouTube video. I'll go and say what I want to say. I'll have an opinion. And then I'll think about doing housework. And housework and ADHD, yeah, really don't mix, you know what I mean? So I'm supposed to be doing housework after this video and getting everything tidy. I've got bundles of clothes that I've got to fold up and put away. My wife said something about the electric scooter to me, and I've totally forgot what she said to me, what I've got to do with the electric scooter. I know she said I've got to fold it down. See? I ain't got a clue. I'm running on... mate. I'm running on half a brain cell. No, I'm running on brain fog, trying to fight through it and everything else. You know what I mean? But what's your opinions on Mikey Moore? Let's get back to that. What's your opinions on the transfers? Everyone's being negative about the transfers. I'm glad we got transfers in. I just thought we would have got more of an elite player, more of an experienced elite player. A lot of people disagree and say so-and-so, he's got experience, so-and-so is good. Perhaps it's me. I just think that, we're running around town with, instead of running around town with a full magazine, trying to shoot up all the leagues and win everything, we've just got 5 bullets left. You know what I mean? And we've got no spare magazine. We've got no rotational squad. This is what I'm worried about for our club. I'm really worried about our club. I'm worried about the long term. Say if Kudos goes down at the same time Porro goes down. Say if Udogie goes down at the same time as Brennan Johnson goes down, all in the same week. Who would we rotate with? If we have Van der Ven go down at the same time as Kevin Danzo goes down, at the same time as Mwani goes down, at the same time as Solanke goes down, who are we going to rotate with? Say we have 5 injuries in the squad. Who are we going to rotate with for these Champions League games? The league games. We ain't got no time to kill during some of the weeks, you know. We have one game. We've got to get back, day of rest. And Thomas Frank's got one day to fucking implement the next football game. You keep telling me on YouTube and on the social media and all media that he sets up the different each game. How is he going to implement that with regards to a busy week? Anyway, 18 minutes today. Have a good one. Take care. I don't think I started. Yeah, have a good one. Love yous all. Baked potato.